Okay, but real quick, have you ever walked into, say, like Target, and you know you was in there shopping for toothpaste, and you ended up leaving the store somehow with a throw blanket, a candle, air spray, a plant, and I don't know. Sometimes it makes me have the sudden urge to want to change my whole personality. Like, what am I doing? Okay? If you've done this, girl, listen, this is not a real spending problem. I know you think that you might have a problem with money, a problem with the way you spending your money, but that's not it. You see, this is a psychological setup. That's right. We are being set up as consumers. And in order to break this cycle, it takes a little work. So I put together 4 segments that I'm going to talk to you to how we're going to talk to you about how we're going to de-stress this part of our mind, open ourselves up to what else is available, and try to point out some of these triggers that's causing us to do so much different spending on different things, especially things that we don't really need. If that fits you, welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to Stacks from Scratch. It is me, your host, Mrs. Latoya Slater. And that's right, you already know. If you've been here before, you can just call me Toya. Yes, and welcome. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. This is the home of the Get a Girl game. And this is where we merge mindset with money, manifestation, and pure glow ups with a purpose. So, if you're feeling me on there and you haven't already joined the channel, you need to be doing that right about now. Go ahead, I'll wait. I got a couple seconds. You know, I don't leave nothing on the table for long. So, let's get into this. Now, you do know that this is episode 4 of the new mindset series that I put together for us. And today, on this part, we're going to be breaking down the untold truth about money. Why people don't want to realize this and talk about this. And why our brains feel connected. And even why our friends got us spending money like that's what it's here to do. Like they say, like it grows on trees. But of course, we all know the truth. Money does grow from trees. Spoiler alert. Let me just throw this out there. It does. It does. Money comes from paper, even though it's minted. Okay. So let's plant some trees in our mind today. Let's plant some seeds today. So we're going to put in our wallets today. That's going to grow that bag today. Okay. Now, the first segment I want to talk about, let's talk about the power of perception when it comes to money and our perspective on buying things and why we buy things. Okay. In this term, value is subjective. When we're talking about the power of perception, value is subjective to the buyer. Okay, we don't always really buy what's worth the price. We basically buy what feels good to us. And if you've never heard of framing and anchoring, this is psychology talk. It's my favorite subject in college. I almost switched my major for psychology because it's so intriguing for me, fascinating how the mind is. Now, if you've never heard of this, framing and anchoring, this is when your brain makes decisions based on how something is presented to you, how something is delivered to you. The pretty packaging, the price versus another price. See, this is where they get us psychologically. A $300 dress looks expensive until you look over on the rack and see the $900 dress. Now you know exactly which one you're gonna get. Is this making sense? Because these are triggers for any human being. But we're gonna talk about today how to declutter the mind in a way where we can perceive the message behind the spending. Okay, and then we've got the scarcity tactic. Of course, we know about the scarcity and the urgency because we hear people tell us all the time, only 2 left. Buy now. That's Timu's favorite line when they texting the notifications, right? Am I right? This is a marketing ploy. And what they do, they are literally hacking your brain to say yes a lot faster than you initially would. So now that we got that out the way and we understand the power of buying and the power of our perception and framing and anchoring when we out here consuming products, let's get into segment 2, because this is important. This is another hang up for us: emotional spending. This is a big hang up for a lot of people. And let's keep it a book. Most of us, we don't swipe because we really need something. Most of the time when we swiping, if we be real, we swiping because of a feeling for something. We trying to rid ourselves of a certain feeling. I'm hungry. I'm finna swipe. I'm stressed out. Let me go get. It's boring. Y'all want to get some. We trying to defunk these feelings and these emotions when we swipe. You lost your job. You might as well buy the bag and the shoes. Go get. This is crazy. But this is what they call retail therapy. And I've been studying about this too. This is how they trick us into thinking that we in control of the buy, we in control of the deal, when we actually just making this purchase to avoid emotion. Start pointing this out to yourself. All right? And let's not forget, emotional spending comes when we let social pressure get to us. That's right. Social media. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Don't shoot the messenger. But you weren't even thinking about a new blender until you saw this girl on this grill with the aesthetic, no voice, just sounds, and she's crunching up a oatmeal latte or something, okay? And there you go. Now suddenly here you is on your cart on Amazon looking for the. This is an emotional spending habit that we pick up through social pressure. Now that we've got these covered, this emotional spending segment, let's go to number 3, because this is just as important. We buy out the influence of habits. This is a pressure moment. This is a pattern. Let's talk about patterns, because half of the stuff we buy ain't even about emotion. It's more about routine. I gotta have my coffee. I gotta get my okay. The influence of habit can drive us down a weary road on our journey through wealth. And if you stopping at Starbucks every morning, cut it out. Cut it out unless you're doing this consciously, okay? I don't want you to do this unconsciously and think that this is just another treat, because your brain is picking it up as a loop, as a habit, and it's almost a must in certain situations. And I want us to get control over this emotional spending, habitual spending, because with this, our money is just flying out the window. It's flying out the window. Okay, so let's keep going now. We got that covered. Segment 4, and I want to talk about some strategies for smarter spending. And you know, I told you before, I don't really like using the word spending, because Reverend I has taught me what it means to say the word spend. And it means to leave and never come back. However, I have used this word throughout the video, but I want you to know this is a dangerous word, okay? And yes, words mean things. We don't always use big words, but we know what they mean. So this strategy, let's say this is strategies for smart shopping. And here's where we're going to shift the gear right here, okay, y'all? Because this is not about guilt. This is more about growth. For us on this channel, financial literacy is a real flex. We might not know it all right when it comes to finances right now, but the flex is that we are learning and understanding how money works and how it works for us as individuals, and the difference between acquiring debt, getting in the hole, instead of solutions, options, choices, chances. Financial literacy, learning this right here, these kind of videos, taking in this kind of content, is the way you're gonna shift your gears. The next way you're gonna shift the gear, Set up a simple budget. Here we go with this word. I try to avoid budget, but it's necessary, y'all. I have to put it in there. And yes, I budget every dime I get, even if I'm not writing it down. When I get in the store, I'm on a budget and I'm sticking to it because basically I'm just buying the same stuff over and over for my house or for my children or for my refrigerator. Basically, my money circulating into the same arms, the same hands. So a simple budget that's not too tight, but give yourself some wiggle room. Make it stress free and kind. Be kind to yourself with your budget, or you won't stick to it. Simple and plain. You have to be lenient with yourself when you create this budget, okay? And I mean, it needs to flow with your lifestyle and your goals. That's what I mean by that. Not give yourself a freebie every other day, but to know that this needs to flow with your lifestyle, not the Joneses. Another way we're going to shift gears for smarter shopping, we're going to practice some delayed gratification. Now, I know you know what that means. And I don't want you looking at it as a punishment. This is a power. It's a power move when you can say no to anything that's going to make you operate less than your best. Wait a few days. Give yourself some time. Just saying no that one time will give you some gratification and it's on its own. So you're going to delay the gratification and not buy it just as soon as you see it or as soon as you feel like you want it. Give yourself some time. How are you doing? Sometimes you just have to DW, like my auntie Kathy used to tell me. Smart, wise, funny woman. And she told me sometimes in life you just have to DW. I said, what's that, auntie? She said, do without. And if you can give yourself a concept when you see something immediately and you know you want it, you want to purchase it, you can delay this gratification and feel even better about yourself by just reminding yourself this is not punishment. I'm not going to do it, but this is my power to choose to wait a few days before I click buy on this item. And then you're going to start saving some real dollars. And not only that, but you training yourself. You training your brain to chill the F out sometimes when it comes to my money. All right. So that's my 4 seasons. But the mindset challenge for you, get a girl gang. I want you to pick one spending trigger this week that you have faced or that you're dealing with right now. I'm going to pick one as well. I want to say I'm dealing with number 3, the influence of habits. I've been picking up, I told you I shop by habit. That's how I keep my budget. But some of these things in there, I know I can DW. Okay? So I want you to drop it in the comments. Let me know which trigger you're going to work on this week. Is it the emotional trigger, the routine trigger, or the peer pressure, social pressure? Which one are you going to dive into? And I want you to track it, monitor it, because what can be monitored can be improved when you take a little notice to it. And then I want you to ask yourself, is this helping me by cutting this off? Is this helping me by addressing this emotional spending, this routine spending? Is this helping me build wealth? Is this helping me on my journey to wealth? Watching this kind of content, is this helping me? Ask yourself. You don't need validation from anyone else. Ask yourself, how's it going? How's this working out for me? And if you don't mind, I want you to drop some insight in the comments. This is a safe space for us, sis, where we're growing together, okay? Now that you understand the psychology of spending and we moving on up the totem pole of the month, it's time to flip the script. Because now it's time to open some doors for your opportunities to make the money. And that's why you're going to click on my next video so you can learn how to start a YouTube channel for yourself from scratch. This is going to open up an avenue, and your mind will always be in the back of your mind knowing this can make some money for me. I can turn this personality into a profit, all right? And discover how your vibe can personally and literally fund your life, okay? I want you to subscribe so you can get some Mindset Money Makeover information on demand, okay? I want you to comment below. I'm spending smarter in 2025. And don't forget, if you know somebody who needs to hear this message, share it with them. And I will see you all over there in the next video.